Give me my theme music.
Unfollow me.
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 I ain't really want you to follow me anyway.
If you got too much drama, say that drama for your mama.
Keep that riffraff off my timeline. You and everybody you in cahoots with can unfollow me. Follow us.
Period. On all of them, okay? All social media. Unfollow me.
Welcome back to the Unfollow Me podcast. And we have another set of guests today. So in our guest series, we've been having a great time just chopping it up with successful business owners, mainly women that are doing things that are pretty revolutionary. So if you guys could introduce yourselves, please.
My name is Nikita Wilburn, better known as Coach Nikki.
And who else do we have here today? Oh.
Oh, awesome.
Welcome, ladies.
Thank y'all for coming on and taking the time out this evening. So I have some history with these two wonderful women. Crystal, I've met years ago at a church, and we've developed a relationship and a business relationship over the past maybe year and a half now. And it's been wonderful. She's been a wonderful friend, and a wonderful person to work with. And then by way of Crystal, I've met Coach Nikita Wilburn.
Hey.
And it'll be a year in May since we've met. Yeah. So I've had the honor of, assisting her with content as well, and getting to know her more on a personal level. So these ladies are friends. They've developed a really cool friendship, and it's just really inspirational to see. So Coach Nikki, can you please tell us about what you do?
Oh, girl.
She's like, what do I don't do?
Right. It's probably easier to say that. Well, by day or trade, I'm a registered nurse. I work in oncology. Love that. Love it, love it, love it. But the businesses that I have, I didn't say businesses. I am a health coach and a personal trainer. And then I have a nonprofit that is called Health Law Community Outreach.
That's wonderful. What about you, Crystal Foster?
So by skill set, I am a nurse as well. And I have a business, an event planning business, and also a nonprofit that I do that with two other ladies.
Yes.
So for women who have lost their mothers.
Yes. Missing our moms always has been a blessing to my mother, to her sister, and a couple of friends of mine. So y'all are doing wonderful work. And, people always tell me, thank you for linking me with them, because there's not a lot of groups with people that look like us, and one of my friends specifically told me that. So yeah, doing great work, doing the Lord's work out here.
Yeah, we appreciate you too, because you're our biggest, you're going to share a post. Make sure people get it out there.
Yeah.
So appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Now, Miss Nikita has a big event coming up. Tell us about that.
The Bold and Balanced Conference.
Yeah.
Wow. So yes, it is a conference. I've always wanted to do things for women, and I used to do conferences in the past that were a little different. And I kind of took a break and wanted to do something. And in the midst of wanting to do something, I ended up losing my mom. Yes, all of a sudden. And it just put fire behind me to really go out and kind of sound the alarm. So the Bold and Balanced Conference is a conference that basically tell the ladies to make the world stop and see about you. Check in with yourself, right? And so this is the second one.
Yes.
And my girl Crystal has been helping me out. Hey. So it was amazing last year. I mean, I didn't even realize that last year it was on a day that I buried my mom last year.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't know it until I'd already committed, right? But it was so amazing to see how beautiful Crystal made the room, her and her team.
She did that.
And to see all of the ladies that showed up. Because, you know, sometimes when you have an event, you wonder, like, am I going to be the only one to show up?
Yeah.
And that room was packed. And to just feel the love in the room, it was amazing. So yeah, it's we dressed the room up. She make it look all fancy spancy, but we don't want the women looking like that. We want you comfortable, cute and comfortable.
Right.
But we want the room to dress up for you and you to come feel safe and to get all the information you need to go and take better care of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, all the things. So this year, it is focused around heart health. My mom, she passed away from high blood pressure and heart disease. She did not know she had heart disease.
Oh, wow.
Until she passed away. It was on her death certificate. So that's what we centered it around. So we have Baylor that partnered with us, just believed in a girl from, as my dad said, a girl from the hood. And so they sponsored and they come out, they speak on heart health. We have a cardiorenal lady that's coming out just talking about something else that they're finding out with that's going on with the heart and the kidneys. We have a psychotherapist coming out. We have a reproductive health physician coming out. And we have a Mediterranean spread. Oh my gosh, the food. Let's talk the food.
Are you having the same people from last year?
Yes.
Because I didn't get to eat it, but I was eyeing it because I love Mediterranean food.
Girl, the food.
Yeah, say for me. Let me pull up
food. And he had so, like the reviews for the decor and the food was so good. We were like, we have to bring the same people back.
Yeah.
And so it's just going to be amazing. We have vendors. We have all the things. We give gifts. You know, shower the ladies. We love each other, have a good time, have a DJ, all the things. So I'm super excited about it.
It's going to be wonderful. And I like how you said that you dress the room up for them.
Right.
But they don't have to dress up. Because that's my kind of vibe. Like, I don't really like to dress up.
Yeah.
I like to be in comfortable, like, sweats like I am now. So that's appreciated. And that's different because a lot of conferences you'll find people come, you know, dressed up how, you know, thinking they have to dress to the nines. But
and the whole time they're thinking about, I can't wait to get to the car and take my shoes off.
Yes, exactly.
That is very true. Because sometimes some shoes come off before. Sometimes those shoes come off before.
Have that spare pair of flip-flops in the bag.
Right.
Yeah. So now, okay, you and Crystal met last year at the planning of Bold and Balance. So
yes,
this is an interesting connection.
Yes.
And it's why we're here today, actually. Yes. So please detail every little detail about y'all's relationship because there is a purpose in it. So absolutely. Yes, please let us know.
So I was actually leaving a Missing Our Moms meeting and I get a call from Miss Nikki and it was her wanting to talk about her conference if I had availability, you know, to do decorating for her conference. And so we chit-chatted for, you know, a little bit and we finally got a date to meet in person. And so I was like, Red Oak, Dallas. You know?
So how did she find you though?
So through a mutual friend.
Okay.
And so, yes. When you have friends who support you and put your name in rooms and the friend of a friend who like, okay, I know somebody who knows somebody and not just, you know, saying, but just doing, you know, and it was good. So, I don't do Dallas like that.
I know. Miss Fort Worth.
Miss Fort Worth. But that's another story for another day because when God called you somewhere else, you move. And so I go to Red Oak on that tedious journey.
On this tedious journey.
On that journey.
To Red Oak. And when I instantly met her, like the Holy Spirit was like, yeah, this
your people.
This it right here. And so we went in, we did a walkthrough. I saw her vision. And we stood outside. You know how you go, we at the party and then the party over and you stand outside and talk for another 2 hours.
Yes.
So we stood outside and we were talking and we had so much in common.
Mm.
And it just kept unraveling and unraveling. And I love how the Holy Spirit just kept moving and speaking. And that's when it was like, we talked about she had lost her mom. I said, wow, so I have a group missing our moms. And then it was coming up on the year anniversary.
Mm.
Then we worked at the same company.
Mm.
We didn't even know it. So now it's like, okay, this is a God ordained relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I take those relationships very seriously. And so this is a relationship that needs to be cultivated. And when you have those kind of relationships, you care for those relationships and mentor, discipleship, walk through life with these people. And when you start to cultivate those relationships, it becomes friendships, it becomes networking, it becomes, okay, how can we support? How can we call on each other? And so it just led from one thing to another. So what I thought was just going to be go decorate and set up and bounce.
To the hip, boo.
Yeah. I became not just decorating, but serving. And not with just like, oh, I gotta serve, but I want to serve.
Yeah.
And this was bigger than just me. It was like God was speaking. And when she said like the women came in, like you wear what you want to, she wanted them to feel special. It was all of that. They felt beautiful, special, loved on, served them. And you talking about food, it was food for days. Like they could take plates, come back for seconds, do all the things. And it's just the outpour, not only from the love of her team. I've never seen a team. She has a team that is amazing. Like they're just all in unison and unified. Like even if they had issues behind us, you would never know because the way they were unified, everybody was just like, God was there. Mm-hmm. And so when you see stuff that's structured like that, I was like, you know what, child, if I come back, I'll do whatever you ask me to do. Like, child, I can be tired. We here at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. We'll still roll, but yeah.
Yeah. So then also the name of your street.
Right.
Yeah.
So
not that I'm trying to tell people where you live.
Right. So, as time goes, of course, cultivating this relationship, from one event to the next, of course, it took her some time to come to a Missing Our Moms event, but we got her there. And so we had a health event for Missing Our Moms. So I said, I'm going to get Coach Nikki up in this event.
Yeah.
And so, and it worked out because she actually let us have an event at her gym.
Yeah.
And so, because we do got people in the Dallas area that would drive all the way to Fort Worth, Crowley, to come. And I was like, that's perfect for our people that drive so far.
Mm-hmm.
And so we appreciate it for Coach Nikki opening her gym. And two, we got her to an event. And she spoke and it was amazing. So when she gave me her address, because I had the P.O. box at first. The business address.
Yeah.
But when she actually gave me her address, it said Crystal, whatever, I ain't gonna get it full. I said, Crystal, okay. I see what you're doing, Lord.
Yeah.
So we are stuck at the hip. And so
yeah, y'all are.
Yeah. And then two, not only this connection, but she continues to open doors for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like the gala with the food pantry, she's on that board and, and so other opportunities, that I never thought I would have, been able to do. And that's very important. It ain't just, can you do this for me?
Right.
But you dropping my name and saying, hey, I trust her to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Try her, and it's the same vice versa.
Right.
So,
yes. That's just, it's just amazing. And like you said, divinely orchestrated. Because of course we come across people all the time, but then there's those select people that like, not only have you done, work with, but then you open up this avenue of friendship, and then it becomes, like you said, or in discipleship at the same time. And then it becomes, our families are sharing holidays together. We're at your birthday parties for your kids and things like that. So that's how, like, it's just it becomes family.
Yeah.
And that's how the kingdom of God is. It operates, he wants everybody to operate as a family.
Because we just don't be about business, because we're going to talk about the Lord and everything else too.
Yeah. See, and that's what we need. That's what people need. And that example of friendship is a great example. So that's why I was like, please tell this story. So we're happy that y'all came on. And also, it doesn't stop there. Because of Crystal connecting with Coach Nikki, then I was able to connect with Coach Nikki and then, do content for her time and time again. So because you were obedient to, what you felt God had led you to, that opened up a door for me as well. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate you, Coach Nikki.
Girl, listen, I'll call her in a bit. They'll be like, Alondra, please, I got this. I don't even know what to do with it. It's just here.
And I enjoy it. So, it's never a problem.
I love it.
Yeah. So now at the Bold and Balanced conference, you had several speakers. I know you'll have 3 speakers at this one coming up, right?
It's actually going to be like 4 or 5. But
4 or 5.
The paid speakers, those are the ones that are on the flyer. But I do have a lady. She's amazing. And, God have a way. I have a piece of equipment I don't even advertise like that. The Embody machine I was telling you about. This nurse practitioner found me. She found me and she asked me if I had the machine. I was like, yeah. She said, girl, why aren't you advertising? I'm like, girl, I'll be tired. And long story short, we ended up talking. She is amazing. And so I asked her if she wanted to be a part, and she was like, yeah, I can speak on obesity and heart disease. I'm like, girl, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
So I'm super, super, super excited. And she comes with research and science. She has that behind her.
Okay.
So I'm excited. Her name is Ashley.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm excited about her being there. Look like us, young, and it's current with what's going on right now.
Yeah.
So that's very important, I think, for individuals to be current.
Right.
Versus telling us about something that happened 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like them old food pyramids.
It's like you want people to stay current, especially with having content creation that's going to be all over the social media websites and things. It's important that you have something that's relevant, so your message will spread. So I appreciate you doing that for sure.
Yes.
Now I gotta pull up.
Hey.
Yeah, you
I gotta
gotta
pull up, because I also have been meaning to get to missing our moms. It seems like I don't have like I'm not scared, but it's just like one of those things where like, it's very touchy, and I wasn't sure if I'd be like bawling and crying the whole time or whatever the case is, but I'm gonna get there. It's like I feel like I'm like Coach Nikki a little bit. It's like I'm gonna get there.
Yeah.
I just
we tell people
it's
all
like
the time,
big feelings.
Just come. It's different. Like I don't know what the emotion will be or where the Holy Spirit leads the conversation. Sometimes it's not to be sad, because we want to encourage and empower. Because I am an encourager. I don't believe that time heals. You just learn to live.
You just learn to
live. But God puts people in your life. And I believe in seasons. I'm big on seasons. And sometimes some of the hardest seasons in life and that you have to grieve is some of the people that leave you that are still alive.
Girl, listen, don't make me throw something.
But
you said a mouthful.
But even with the seasons, we have to learn to, like, that was God's time to let it go. And we have to move on and just know that he'll send a Coach Nikki, that he'll send a Calandra, that he'll send a Brittany. And we have to appreciate who he sends in our life in that season to get us to the next journey that we're going on. Because sometimes we'll be like, well, that ain't the person I wanted. It don't look like what I want it to look like. And he's like, but that's who I had for you. And so we mess our own self up on the journey because we want a certain person to look like a certain thing. And he's like, that's not what I had.
Or we want to do it alone. Because I'm going to tell you, when I was at that conference last year, mine was a little different because how I lost my mom was like, it was cold. A year before my mom passed away, my stepdad passed away from a cancer, and I'm a certified oncology nurse. I found out on a Friday, and he died the following Friday. Oh, God. So I didn't have the opportunity to help. So in the midst of me learning to forgive her, she goes to the bathroom and drops dead. Yeah. And so, and she was only 15 years older than me. So I wasn't ready, honestly, to be in a place with other women grieving their moms because from the outside looking in, it appeared that everyone else had a better relationship, or they maybe went shopping with their mom and did all the things, but I was still hurt and still forgiving her when she passed away and I got a call. Not to say I didn't answer the phone for her and not to say that I cut her off, but I was hurt. So the relationship was tainted. It wasn't healthy. So when she asked me or told me about the missing our moms, initially I was like, there's no way. Because I felt like, and that's what the enemy wants us to think. He wants us to think that, they had a pretty picture and yours were tore up. Yours was so bad that when you go there, you're going to feel like you're not, you're not a part, or you're going to feel excluded. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so that's the picture I painted. I wanted someone to go with me, but I wasn't going to share. I wasn't going to talk. I had already made up in my mind. And then I said, no, I'm not ready. And so not ready to me, meaning maybe 10 years, later I'll go or something like that. But it was too funny the way that this one was brought. I'm like, yeah, you can have the studio. Yeah. She was like, yeah, but we need you to speak. I'm like,
speak where? On the spot.
And then the trip part, so she said about health. And when she said about health, that's like my baby.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't say no to that.
Yeah.
But how do I speak about that and missing our moms without sharing my mom's story?
Yeah.
Because my mom used to carry the weight of the world on her shoulder. And she just had high blood pressure and went to the bathroom and didn't make it back in the bed. And so now that has become a part of my story. And that was the first time I think I was able to really share my story, share it. And I didn't cry afterwards. I had a moment, but it was a different environment. It was nothing like I expected. The room, I just saw the way that they supported each other. Everyone knew each other and they loved on each other. And so it wasn't like a bunch of strangers. They were like family and they expected to see each other. And I was like, oh, this is different. So now I can't picture missing our moms when I'm in town and I'm not there because now I already feel like I'm apart. But there is no way I would have thought I would ever go to a missing our moms. I was just telling her, so she'll leave me alone. But I fell in love with it. It was amazing. And the women welcomed me, loved on me. I didn't have to talk about my mom. It was just love in the room. And it was because everybody walked in with love. And so the love was overwhelming. So it wasn't like we walked in looking for love. Everybody walked in with their portion to share.
That's good.
I like that analogy.
We
Everybody walk in with their portion to share.
Yeah.
A little bit of love in the room. I love it.
Because we all share a common denominator. You know, we've lost our moms. And everybody has a story.
Yeah.
So if it's good or bad, you have a story. And so
When's the next missing our moms?
April 12th.
April 12th.
Okay.
At 9:30 a.m.
It's a prayer walk, right?
At Stovall Park.
In Arlington.
Okay. Oh yeah, I know where Stovall Park is.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I'll be there.
I can be there. I'll be there.
Good.
I'll be there.
Look, this was ordained because I've really been wanting to get her to talk to you. And I'm very it's a delicate situation. You know, like she was just saying, you know, she doesn't know if she was ready or anything like that. So, you know, I'm always sharing and I'm always like peeping to see, like she'll like it and stuff, but I
hadn't shown up.
Yeah, and she's like, and I
I
have a friend that was the same way. That was, you know, I'm not sure if I'm ready to do that yet. But then she joined, and sometimes she'll cry there because, you know, it hasn't been 2 years since she's lost her mom. So, you know, sometimes she'll cry, but she has that comfort and that love in the room, and because people understand, and not just sympathy understand, but they have empathy because they've experienced it. So, and it's not always crying, but there are gifts. There's always gifts.
Yeah. Oh my God.
There was the Secret Santa when they had it at Nikki's gym, and there were some good gifts.
I know.
She was ready to fight.
My mom.
Another bag. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, mom was ready to fight for that Snuggie.
Oh my God.
And then Crystal ended up buying my mom a Snuggie for Christmas because she got her Snuggie taken for Secret Santa. What was it called? White Elephant?
Yeah, White Elephant.
Yeah.
White Elephant.
Oh yeah, I'm glad I had to leave because baby, I would have been fighting about my gift.
Yeah.
I don't like White Elephant.
Yeah.
Because we got to squabble up.
Listen.
Because I need my gift.
Yeah.
Listen, and I got to show you what I got.
Yeah, I be too attached to my gift. Don't come over
as soon
here.
as I'll be looking like, do it if you want to. I'm gonna meet you in the parking lot.
See me after class.
Right.
But and even with that, like the connection with missing our moms too, like from Elevate Wellness, and then with Embodies Decor, and then there is missing our moms. So y'all are connected in so many ways.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's a divine orchestration because these are things that other people can go to you about, and y'all can pour into them and share. So, you know, and with that though, I hope y'all are being poured into, you know, yourselves. I know y'all pour into each other and things like that. But of course it's nice for the pourer to be poured into.
Yeah.
I know what the main thing about it too is not being selfish. You know, it's, you know, referring, and, you know, we have this relationship, but also even in the business part of things, you know, she's not just mine, you know, like, okay, Nikki, this person over here needs you, you know, or you're not just mine. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but no,
I be like, Kalundra, no, but you know, it's great to even have, you know, you and now, you know, Kiara, and, you know, and even too, when I called you and said, hey, you know, XYZ, you know what I'm saying? So get stuff like that. It's room for everybody. And we just got to be, you know, hey, I met another phenomenal person at the conference, Dr. Allen, you know what I'm saying? Like, and she's a recurring customer now, you know? She was a vendor there that got my information. And now I'm like doing a lot of things for her. And Coach Nikki still talks to her, you know, like, it's just a, you know, and I think that's how it's supposed to be, you know, and not just like, you know,
you my person. You
Yeah,
it used to be a time when it was like that. You know, you were scared to ask. You like, can I use your decorator? You're like, of course, she has a business. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not going to stop her bag.
For real.
What's interesting though is all of y'all are in the healthcare fields.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm an administrator, so I'm on the flip of it.
But still in it.
You're still
but
in
still
it.
in it, in the thick of it.
I was gonna say really,
like for real, like
so
you running stuff.
An associate's in healthcare administration, but you know,
Oh, see, I always appreciate clinicians and their experience because
Listen.
I'd look at dollar signs, zeros, so
Right.
ones and zeros all day, and nobody likes to see me coming.
No.
Nobody likes to see me coming when I
'Cause
ask
you
you
looking
about
at budget.
about your expenses and whatnot. Why are you spending all this money on college and white? No, just kidding. I'm just serious. All the things.
Yeah.
But oh my goodness, like not only are you both extremely beautiful women, but have like extremely beautiful spirits. And just like I'm sure our listeners can attest to just how kind and warm. Like I feel the love in the room. You know what I mean? And I mean, I always kind of contributed to Kalendra because she just kind of has people that gravitate towards her. They just have like beautiful and warm spirits, and you know they mean well, and they're not trying to, you know, they're not trying to take advantage of in any way. You know what I mean? Because she has so much to give and so much to offer, and I'm sure both of you do as well. It seems like because y'all do so much.
Yeah.
But to also find somebody where you can kind of just have that even exchange, but know that it's nothing but love there.
Right.
So I love and admire that, and just can't wait to see what you guys continue to do. But I can't wait to also take part in both activities, obviously. So I feel like I'm just running my mouth now,
No,
but
it's okay.
No,
That's
it's good.
Go ahead,
you
girl.
know.
but
Let them use you.
Let the Lord use you.
No, so follow-up question about missing our moms, and I know you touched on it a bit, but like how did you know you were ready to really embark on that kind of journey? Because I feel like that's really, really heavy. And it's also like, you know, you're being not necessarily responsible for a group of people, but you are kind of like a shepherd of sorts when it comes to kind of having these women. And I'm assuming it's all women, right? Or is it okay? But yeah, we come and we're grieving, and everybody's in different places. And like, how did you know that you were ready to kind of take that on?
So I went to a Cornerstone Baptist Church was having a Missing Our Moms brunch in 2018. It was their first one. And I invited my friend Brandy, and then she invited her friend Tasha. And so to the brunch. And so I was like, this is amazing. And so I'm a shepherd at heart. It's one of my gifts. Not knowing it really at the time, I used to push away a lot of my gifts because the way I'm wired and I'm so task oriented. I love people, but I don't have time to play games with people.
I understand.
And that was my biggest thing. Like I said earlier, everybody got a story. My gift of mercy is real low because people can manipulate you with their stories. Yeah. And it's a time and a place to share your stories. And so we all have been through something. We all got traumas. We all got triggers. And before I even knew what trauma and triggers was, and that was just recent with this pandemic, I never utilized the words to hinder what God had for me. And so you just push through. That was my thing. I just pushed through life. And my mom's been gone 17 years. And so being the only child by my mom, and I was raised the only child, I got through life. I was born by myself. I was raised by myself. I'm going to die by myself. But Cornerstone, even before that, Cornerstone cultivated a lot of me becoming like and knowing God, and actually to my best friend Jetty, because she helped me find like God in all of this. And so, and then my previous church at Freedom where I met Kalendra. And so just putting out how God had wired me and this, that, and the other. So going to that brunch, it's like finding purpose out of your pain. And so I was like, this is a good idea. Like, I hear people complain all the time about their mom, and it will run me hot. Like, it's going to be a day that comes.
Listen.
You're going to miss her.
When I don't care what the situation is or what y'all done been through, it's going to be a day that comes that you wish that you could have said, picked up a phone, whatever the case may be, and she ain't going to be there. And y'all going to be the main ones falling out over a casket and doing XYZ. Because you talk about all this trauma and triggers, you don't know what that person went through. And my thing became, if I truly believe that God created me in his image and he knew me before he formed me in my mother's womb, that my married daddy was going to mess with that young white girl and have me, he created me for a purpose. And I can't hold neither one of them accountable for me being here. And I don't know what she went through, and I don't know what he went through. But I know that I have a purpose that's greater than both of them. And I can't sit up here and be like, well, they didn't give me this life, and I didn't have that life, and she didn't do this, and Because at some point, I had to be responsible enough to say, I want more for me, and God has more for me. And so after her passing and me really just going to church and realizing what God had called me to, and going to that brunch and ministering to people, pouring into people, and loving on people, that was the biggest thing. You got to love on people. And one of my prayers was, God, help people to see my heart, because I had labels. She mean. And you're not fit to get over on me. Like that was just, I'm not mean. I'm just real,
right.
And I'm authentic. Just help people see my heart, because I'm going to love you. And once you get an embrace hug from me, oh, she's so loving. I am. But people want realness. They want authenticity, and so now, because at one time I did say, God, help me to see people the way you do. And he said, you do. And so I said, oh, okay. Because that means you can't do the food with me.
Yeah.
So we good. So I'm not fit to sit up here and be like, oh my gosh, no, we're not doing all that. You foolishness, and go sit down somewhere in XYZ. So anyways, that's another topic, because we don't do all that. But, but it just kept, I kept having these conversations with mother wounds, women with, how they, and then seeing young girls talk to their mamas a certain type of way. And I'd be like, say, come here, go back and get that right, And I would tell the mama, say, don't let her talk to you like that. Get that together, because what's going on now, you're going to regret later, those kind of conversations. And a lot of times parents feel guilty because, oh, we work so much. It don't matter. It don't matter. You got to get that together. And don't hold on to the guilt of what you couldn't give and this, that, and the other. Because it'll be a day that you're not here. And so, but it stemmed from a lot of that. And so, and finding myself, sitting in the car sometimes and couldn't get out the car. Just sitting there and like, Brenda Gail, why? I need to have a conversation. And you ain't here, And so, but yeah.
That was a mouthful.
So now it's been how many years since?
So this June will be our third annual, we do a third annual big party. And so we're going to do them boots on the ground. No, I'm joking.
Do it. And have because Kalundra will know it by then. She will.
Listen,
I'm
we ain't gonna do boots
practicing.
It'll be a rodeo, but it ain't gonna be boots on the ground.
I'm gonna have her fan in my back pocket. Just here.
Where the fans at?
Look, we just run out there and just do this and go back.
Yeah.
I was laughing at you. Your whole list was like, whoa, I said, oh, Dooley. But But it's so that was so funny though, because I'm like, this thing been out for a long time.
and I didn't know that.
It has. Like I said, my sister-in-law been doing this dance for 3 years.
Girl, Tiffany's talking about, we got to do that at the conference. I'm
No,
like,
we're not.
where we doing that at? This ain't that.
This ain't that.
This ain't that. Like, nah.
Kalundra go,
y'all can dance going to y'all car.
I know, she go usher her way out there. That was two things.
But you know what? If I see people trying to do it, it's probably going to be entertaining. Because they probably still don't know how to do it.
Yeah, if they're trying.
Put that, you're going to go viral.
Yeah. Look, y'all, y'all still ain't got this dance. You said 3 years? 3 years later.
3 years later.
But even the Tamia though, same thing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get it out the. I'm just trying to get it out. Like to get it out the thing.
You know what? I never thought about that.
Where them fans
at?
Because that takes skill too.
Yeah, it does. While you're moving and stepping and things like that.
You gotta have the right fan. Y'all up here getting them beauty shop fans.
And that's the one I thought you.
No. The 99-cent beauty shop or the church fan.
That's what I was going to do. Go get the beauty shop fan.
The little material fan with the little Japanese.
That's the one I envisioned,
No.
Oh.
Okay. Well, that makes it.
I was hoping the one that
y'all was wondering.
I was like, I want that one.
If it ain't $8.99 and up, leave it at the store.
Oh.
Because that ain't
a lot of people ain't going to be participating in it.
Because I was going to throw it away anyway. I was like,
You heard it here first.
Yeah, for the where my fans at. Then I'm throwing the trash. I'm going to throw in the trash.
That's funny.
But oh my goodness, Crystal, that was really good. When you said sometimes you find purpose in your pain, is that how you said it?
Yeah.
And that is so true. And I even had a conversation with my sister the other day, and you know, God has a plan for our lives, and there's a reason, you know, why we have this person as a parent, or why we have, you know, a certain mom. I believe, like you just said, you will find purpose in that pain. And you can speak to that to help other people. And you can bless other people based on your experience. Hopefully you have come over on the other side to be able to speak to that. And some people stay in their wounds, you know, they don't want, or they don't know how to come out of it. And that's why, you know, groups like this are needed, and people like you are needed, you know, just to call it out, like, Go apologize to your mom.
Right.
Like, for real. Like, go get that right.
Even if,
now.
I mean, I know you have, like, people have, like, these wounds that cut deep, but you don't know the generational curses that you break just being obedient to God's word. And free yourself.
Right.
You know, and so when you become intimate with God, because He's the one that created you for purpose, He's the one you need to be seeking anyways.
He's the manufacturer.
So, and we go to everybody else. What's my purpose? What am I trying? You know, go to Him.
Yeah.
Go to Him.
I tell you, when I had the day of that conference last year, all I thought about was I could have been at home, eating all the wrong things, grieving and soaking in how I felt that day. Right? So even though I didn't plan to schedule it on the day I buried her, or we buried her, God ordained that conference to happen that day. That room was full of love, and we were helping people save their lives, extending their lives by giving them the information that we brought to that conference. People were coming up and saying, oh my gosh, my mom had high blood pressure and she didn't even know it until she came to your conference.
Ooh.
Now she's on meds and she feel much better. I mean, just stuff like that. And so if I didn't have that conference, I'm telling you, I would have been on the couch with some cookies with nuts in them. Oh yeah, for sure. Popcorn and all the things. But you know, there would have been no fruit from it, from my grieving. Like, I wouldn't have helped anyone. It would have been all about me. Shutting my kids out, my husband out, not answering my phone. But that room was full of love. And I think when we have assignments like Crystal have, and like I have, and like so many other women out there have, we're able to grieve healthier. Because on that day, I still cried because that was just a year. It'll be 2 years this year. So I still cried and I still felt heavy, but I felt the love overrode all of that. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it wasn't a day or a weekend full of that. It was, Mama, I know you're smiling because we're helping someone. You know what I mean? We're helping someone, and I'm doing what I know you would have wanted me to do because she believed in outreach and helping people. that didn't have the resources to help themselves.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And so I was, even though I didn't feel like the baton was passed, it was passed.
Mm.
You have a similar story with, how you and your mom used to mentor.
Oh, young girls. Yeah.
Wow.
But that was something she and I and my aunt, we all kind of did it together. We found joy in reaching out and mentoring young girls in the Metroplex. And I mean, it made our bond that much stronger. Like, my mom was just a beautiful, loving, kind of very, very kind person. Like, she was always somebody's like somebody's favorite auntie or something like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's like now here we are, and it's years later, but it just feels like a sore almost, like a scab that it hadn't quite healed. And I find myself all the time like wondering, and even when like I met Kalundra I've always known Kalundra, but when I knew that she was mentoring young girls, I'm like, I wonder like if this is this what this means, God? Is that what this means? If that's what this means, I'm not ready. Like, if that's what this means, I'm not ready. Because it was just, it was very, I don't know, just very close to my heart. You know what I mean? But I completely understand. Like, it's like now, like, I admire you for being obedient, though. It's like God told you this is what you need to do, and you're doing it. Me, I'm a little hard-headed. I'm a little hard-headed.
Some of us, we need a little bit more grace, a little bit more
grace.
nurturing. It's okay. It's all right.
But that is amazing. And the event's called Bold and Fit? No.
Bold and Balanced.
Bold and Balanced. I apologize.
And the reason why we don't add that D is because balance is something we're always striving for. When we say balance,
bold and balanced.
Yes. So the reason why we don't add that D is because balance is something we're always striving for. Sometimes in life we find ourselves, okay, different things take priority, right? And then it's another season that something else takes priority. But it's because when things are off balance, we have to shift. And so that's what this is about, to be confident, but be confident and have a balanced life, meaning take care of yourself. It is so unselfish not to take care of you. Because when we don't take care of ourselves, we are not giving, what we give others is not out of our best.
Yeah.
We give them
from an empty cup kind of thing.
Basically, we're on fumes.
Yeah,
like the trash that's collected in our gas tank. We're like, why my car putting?
Oh yeah,
it's a new car. Why it's putting? It's because there's trash in there, right? So, anyways, that's what I learned, and take care of yourself. To stop and pause when you know something's off. To stop and pause. And a lot of women don't do it because we have been conditioned to cook the food, had a baby on the hip, doing so many things at one time. But this conference is about make the world stop and come and see about you. So the goal is when you come in that we have everything that you can even think about, right?
Okay.
So if you run out the house and you didn't have time to eat, it's okay. We have snacks ready for you. We have beverages ready for you. We have lunch ready for you. We have gifts ready for you. We have love. We have the education. We have the Q&A. So we don't want you going outside Googling. You don't have to Google anything because you're gonna have the opportunity to ask that question to that professional. We don't want you going outside Googling. Now, dang, I wanted to talk to him, but it was 10 people lined up. No, you have a voice and you're going to get your questions answered.
That's amazing. And I find that because Black History Month, and I won't go too crazy into like my hospital, but I had this idea of having like a panel for kind of Black clinicians where we could have those questions and kind of just talk about the health disparities in the Black community.
Yeah.
And also just have a safe space where we can kind of question, because I find myself like I didn't do it before I got into working in healthcare, like questioning or getting a second opinion or like, okay, so I know this normally happens with just generally, with women who are, beyond 30 that want to have children. But what about Black women that are that are beyond 30 that want to have children or have or cystic fibroids or cysts and things? Like, what does that look like for us trying to reproduce? And then it gets a little sticky. So I absolutely love what you're doing because I know that it'll be a safe space where I can ask the questions and I can feel validated too.
Right.
And I feel even more empowered. So when I go back to my PCP or my, my OBGYN, I can say, hey, this is what I know. Like I've talked to other professionals and like, this is how I would like my care moving forward. So I'm like, now I'm like geared up for it. So let me pull my notebook out. Really got questions, but I'm an avid researcher. So I can't wait. Like this is exciting. I'm sure you probably woke up with like a million ideas, but like how did it get to be so big? Because in my mind, like it's so much to tackle. And then all the roles that you hold, like how are you executing? I mean, I know you have partner and that's enough. God is enough.
Not in this. Actually, it was just me water walking.
Okay.
Not in health lore.
Oh yeah, health lore. Please tell more.
Yeah. So health lore. And it all started honestly with health lore itself. I found that it was a lot. I wanted to help a lot of people, but people would say they couldn't afford me. They couldn't afford my coaching. They couldn't afford my personal training. So I said, I need to maybe start a nonprofit and then I can raise money. So I then won't have to go back to work and I can help these people. And so I did it, but I didn't do anything with it. And so when I don't even remember how God gave me the conference or anything. I remember sitting at my desk and I just started calling people asking, hey, would you sponsor, give me some money to help me put on this thing. I want to help women. I want to intercept premature deaths in our community, And they were like, well, I'm sorry, you got to have a 501c3. And I said, I think I got one of them things on my desk somewhere.
I got one laying around somewhere.
Right. And so I just I found that thing, girls. I was at home and I was just emailing people. And I think I raised by myself $10,000 to $13,000 last year.
Wow.
Just sending stuff, water walking. And so then literally doing it afraid. And then this year, thanks to my girl, big ups to Crystal. I'm serious. When Baylor left there last year, and they didn't give us that much money last year, but when they left there last year, they said, put us on your calendar. And so we went to lunch. And I said, we would love for y'all to be the presenting sponsors. We will tell everyone that we couldn't have done this without you. And she was like, well, I don't know how much we can give, but if we get another department to kind of meet us halfway. And so she just reached out to a department that told me no last year.
Okay,
They
now.
said yes this year.
Praise the Lord.
Nobody but God. So the end goal for us is we want to be able to have the heart disease testing on site. I'm partnering with a huge organization that we're working on having that on site. And then another thing is to offer free CPR courses for the community, because that's what my mom needed when she was on that ground and she couldn't get, right? And so we're going to get equipment to be able to do that in the community. So not just you, but your kids will be CPR certified. Everyone will be CPR certified. So when you have symptoms, sometimes there are things that we just can't avoid or prevent. Life happens, right?
Right.
But to have people in the household that's equipped. So what's so good about people going to these Bold and Balanced conferences and all the conferences and Missing Our Moms and all the things, you never know what kind of information you're going to get. And you may not need it, but you may be sitting next to someone that need it. You may be in the grocery store and someone go into cardiac arrest, but you don't know what to do. But if we can equip people to be ready to be able to help, right? Save people's life.
So Brittany, please tell us about your CPR experience.
Oh, girl. Oh, I taught CPR with my mom and aunt a few years
look
ago.
at this.
I know, crazy. I got the mannequins and test all the stuff in my garage, believe it or not. But
This is crazy.
I actually did it as really just to supplement my income. But I mean, I do it. It's like I do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'd love to be a resource. Just
girl,
even if it's I don't know. Like, if you need me to do it, I'm happy to do it. I have mannequins.
You be showing out.
You
just be up there on the throne showing out.
Listen, y'all, nobody knew. Like, they have never met each other, never had a conversation. This is like all happening like
and this is
right
what
now.
we're raising money for. The very thing she said is sitting there. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Look at God.
Look at God.
Oh, God.
Won't he do it?
Won't he will?
Listen.
He said he would.
God is good. I'm so grateful when, and he don't have to confirm anything because his word is final, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so grateful when he shows me that I'm on the right track, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just confirmed time and time again. Like, you're doing something and people are moving. Like, last year, we gave away maybe 60 gifts there. Mm-hmm. We had so many gifts. We like, oh my gosh, we still had a corner full of gifts. Like, we had Crystal.
She gave me one. She was like, take the gift.
We had so many gifts, so many raffles that we were giving away. Mm-hmm. And now, so we're like reaching out to businesses to see if they want to give us in-kind gifts, gift cards, and all the things. And last year it was all me doing it. I had people helping. Now, footwork, they were doing that. But getting the money and all that, I was doing most of it. And this year, I was like reaching out to the project manager. I said, I feel like things aren't getting done because I'm not doing anything. And she said, that's when you know you have a team.
Yeah.
Because, baby, we working.
Yes.
And so when she was putting the updates in the sauna, I had people that already had, we're picking up these hundreds of gift cards over here. We're picking up this over here. I already talked to somebody from Coca-Cola. I already talked to somebody from here. I'm just like, and I have nothing to do with it. Last year, it was all me, like, looking for money, looking for gifts. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was like, I don't feel like things are getting done. Oh, baby, things are getting done. You have a team. We on the ground.
Boots on the ground.
I'm just like, hey, boots on the ground. Fan again.
Where them fans at?
Hey. So it's just amazing, when he confirms it and reconfirms it just to show you're in the right direction. Like, we filled out something for 4 imprints to help us get like some keepsake gifts. Mm-hmm. And we just filled it out not even a week ago. I know my application not even wet. It came back yesterday.
Wow.
And it's like, not even a week. And it came back yesterday. Just like, I said, it's here. Okay, we'll get those done. Like, everything is just, it's all God. All God. All God. All God. So, just to remind me that it's not something I'm forcing.
Right. That reassurance.
I'm just right. It's like me just, the marching orders I get, I'm executing. And that's it. And I know that weekend, I know my mom is looking down. She's doing the work.
All right,
She's doing the work.
I love it. Don't you feel inspired?
Inspired.
And motivated. Yeah. And
this is crazy.
The community, though, like, Crystal has always stressed the importance of community. And I didn't understand that until, like, I think maybe my mind was able to grasp it, seeing the operations and everything like that. Because, people use the term networking, but I always use it interchangeably with fellowship, because that's what I feel like I'm always doing with people that I'm just really fond of, So.
Yeah, networking and community different, though.
Yeah.
Networking is kind of superficial.
It's very surface level.
Yeah, definitely.
But when it's people that you just really have that relationship with, to me, it's like fellowship. You know?
And I ain't gonna say, you gotta bank a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for real.
You got to, like, that's trust.
You have to really nurture that thing. For real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Call you in the wee hours in the night and get on the highway and
midnight out.
Yeah. Or, you show up. Yeah. Showing up is very important. And, just being there. I know we in a time where life is busy and, we don't answer phone calls or text messages right away and stuff like that. And we have a lot of boundaries and
all that old stuff.
Whatever the case may be. That's not my era. But it's life. It's what, some people have or whatever. But, despite all of that, is the importance is showing up, being there, doing what you say. Your word is your bond.
Showing
and
up.
just, being there for one another and showing that support that is needed. And I think that's the biggest thing, just supporting one another and doing what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
So. And back to Brittany a while ago when she was talking about how, even at conferences and stuff like that, taking these notes, going back, at conferences like Nikki's and stuff like that, these are very important, especially in the society that we're living in with healthcare and stuff like that. We got to advocate for ourselves. We don't do enough of that. We trust so many people's opinion, and I don't care if it is a physician or a nurse or whatever. You have to know these things for yourself and know your body. We could fight all day, we do it all day trying to fight for people and advocate for people. But know this stuff too for yourself so you can fight for yourself. If something don't seem right, listen.
And
this
you
don't
tell
right.
them, this ain't right. I don't care what you're looking at. This ain't right.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but just getting enough of the information too for yourself so you can fight and advocate for yourself and not just be listening. Oh, well, that then so because some of the stuff don't line up the way it should be, and they'll tell you anything for that dollar bill,
Right?
Because they ain't gonna.
And there was a story that came out at our hospital, but we had a care transition personnel member or what have you, but she was bilingual and she had wanted to kind of walk through a patient that was being discharged, kind of walk through his care plan, but he didn't 100% understand it because English wasn't his first language. But she tried to coach him through, but she took the effort. I mean, she took it one step further and followed up, like made sure that she called him after the fact and made sure that he knew what his care plan was, but then also like you need to talk to your PCP. You need to go see this specialist. Like, have you done these things yet? And I didn't realize how rare that was. Like usually after you see your patient out the door, then sometimes it is what it is until they're in the ED again. Yeah. But I realized that not everybody's like that. And I thought that was amazing. I mean, I don't want to say she did it because he was Hispanic or maybe she just had like she felt like a cultural connection. Yeah. But it's like on the flip side, how many times has like, and now I'm going to use my family member as an example, but like, I don't know how many times my uncle or my grandmother has been in the ED for high blood pressure or diabetes, anything like that. And nobody's been, hey, let me tell you, let me educate you a little bit. Like, and I don't want to knock like any of the clinicians that are at my hospital, but it was just one of those things where it's like, dang, man, like I really want to make sure that our community, our families, they have that same experience. Like if you don't understand something, don't just wave it off and go home and, business as usual, or take that doctor in the ED that was trying to get you out of there. Like, okay, well, you're fine now. We got you, we got you stable and we'll go ahead and get you out. ED? Oh, emergency department. Sorry, emergency. I know. I'm referencing
ER for the people that don't know.
I'm so sorry.
ED.
I mean, I was flowing with it, but I forgot about it. Yeah, you're right.
But I just thought it's crazy that we don't have like that same thing with our community. It's like I really want to be able to educate. And it's like I was not lucky enough, but like when my uncle was admitted to my hospital, I'm like, did you ask? And are you clear on your instructions? Are you clear on your next steps? Yeah. And I just want all of us to be able to have that same kind of experience. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I love that. That's what you're doing in Bold and
Bold and Balanced.
Bold and Balanced. I don't know why I want to say Bold and Fits.
That's okay.
I am.
Hey, because we talk about that too.
My mind is all over the place.
But a lot of times, now I'm not going to go too far left with this, but a lot of times, even in our community, when we do go to the ER, they will discharge us real quick because we done saw y'all in here last year.
You're a repeat offender.
You ain't made no changes.
You're a repeat offender.
So we do
stereotype. It's bad.
Yeah.
It is bad. But I thank God for the Holy Spirit because God will put some patients on your heart and you're like, something's off. I need to just make sure that they picked up that medication. I need to just make sure that they understood
what the instructions
I need to
were,
make sure that the caregiver knows that he needs to have that follow-up appointment and that to make sure that he goes, or he make sure that he gets that infusion or that blood transfusion, whatever it is, that follow-up.
Right.
And so sometimes it'll be the nurse, even though we have moved on, that patient is in someone else's care. We're like, listen, I'll send somebody a bubble chat in a minute. Listen, I'm gonna need you to make sure you da-da-da-da-da, and I know if they did it or not because I go on to see if an encounter was started. And if they don't, I'll go do it. But I think that's the importance of God's people being in the right position.
Right.
And have a connection so that we can hear and that we're not able to so easily roll over and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I have to go to bed at night. So if something's off, if I have to stay late to make sure that this person is safe, I'm going to do just that. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Ooh. This conversation, it took off and it did what it needed to do.
Listen.
So I need y'all one last time to plug in your businesses, where people can find you. And yeah.
Okay. Oh, A, B, C, D, E. No, I'm just joking.
All the things under the sun.
All the things. Well, the most important one. So Health Lore Community Outreach is the nonprofit that's hosting or holding the Bold and Balanced Conference. You can go to at Health Lore Community on Facebook or Instagram, or healthlorecommunity.org. And you can get all the information about the conference, all the information about who we are, what we're doing, and what's next.
And the information will also be on our page as well, on our Instagram and TikToks, if y'all need to visually see.
Yes.
So, yes, ma'am.
And we repost a lot.
Yeah.
So you'll see it if you follow myself, Kalendra, Nikita, the whole gang. You'll see it.
For sure.
And then Embodied Decor
and
events. Don't forget that, events. And then embodiedecor.com. And that is on Instagram. Yeah.
Yes.
And then I have Missing Our Moms Always. And that's MOM Always. And that's on Instagram and Facebook.
Yes. Yes. And April 12th.
April 12th,
we
at
walking,
Stovall Park in Arlington.
We
are walking, and we are going to have a picnic.
Oh,
we always do
fancy.
Yeah.
Aw, I love it.
9:30 a.m.
We hope to see y'all there August. Oh my gosh.
April.
Come back, sis.
That's actually the day we're moving. So that's why that's in my mind. But April 12th at 9:30 a.m. at Stovall Park. We hope to see y'all, okay? If you're missing your mom and you need that community, you need family, please join, because it's unlike any grief group that you've ever been to.
Absolutely.
And I've been told that, like I said, by a few of my friends, like, this is totally different. And they love coming to the Missing Our Mom events. So thank y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
And thank y'all for tuning in to the Unfollow Me podcast.
Love y'all. Thank you.
Bye.